Peace, peace, peace. Hey, man, gonna hit the subscribe button, man. Like the video, share the content. Tyson Fury, man, I gotta tip my hat out to Tyson Fury, man. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. At first I was kind of like, I ain't like Tyson Fury. I was fully against Tyson Fury, but then after a couple of months passed by, and I seen how he handled the situation with Deontay Wilder, and I must have to, I gotta take my hat out to Tyson Fury, bro. Salute to you, bro, because I'm gonna get to everything else in a second though. But I want to get to how you handled everything. You know what I'm saying? How you came back from the depression, you know what I'm saying, being stripped of the titles, just coming back, bro. You know what I'm saying? When Deontay Wilder made that video about you couldn't come back, you couldn't do it, and how you was just like, that what motivated you to come back. That's hard to do. A lot of people don't understand how hard it is to come back from depression. That's a very hard thing to do. And from this man to come back from depression and be heavyweight champion of the world, I salute you. I salute you. Now, let's get to how he did it. Now, we all know Tyson Fury has a history of cheating, because I don't go off of what a man says, I go off of man's actions. And if you look at Tyson Fury history, of his boxing history, it shows you Tyson Fury is a cheater, or at least have tried to cheat. We've all seen the footage. We can't sit here and say we have not seen the footage of the referee checking his glove in the ring, and his hand was not in the glove in the ring, and the referee had to stop the whole thing before he even started and made him put on a whole new set of gloves. We all seen it. So, once again, I say, and the reason why I can kind of sympathize with the situation is because I do media, right? So by me doing media and by me doing interviews and things like that with local artists and stuff like that, when people call me for an interview, I just normally just book the interview. I booked the interview. I don't think nothing of it. I set it up. They dropped it. They paid a deposit. Pick a time, date, link up, do the interview. I put it out. You know what I'm saying? Simple, plain, and easy. But then when I started understanding about being more in the rap game, is about you need to do a background check of who you doing an interview with, because I started realizing a lot of these people, a couple people who I did an interview with, didn't have real good credit. Their name was bad. And when I started to go do research, I'm looking like, okay, if I would have just did that beforehand, I would have noticed that. So what I'm saying is it goes both ways. If you don't sit here and do your research on a subject that you're fighting, that's your fault. If I'm able to come and be the serpent in the garden on you, you can't knock me for that. You can't knock me for that. So what I would have did, I would have came out. If I was Deontay Wilder, I would have came out. I would have took my loss. Stephen A. Smith, let him talk his noise. When all platforms, let him talk. Even Muhammad Ali lost. I would have came out. I would have took my lick. I would have let Tyson Fury feel like he was on top of the world. I would have let him do that. I would have let Young Pharaoh talk. I wouldn't have responded. I would have acted like I had deaf ears to that. Because the more you responded to that situation, that's the more Tyson Fury ran the opposite way. At first, Tyson Fury was ready to fight again. If you notice that, he was ready to fight again until all that glove conspiracy and stuff started coming out. Because Tyson Fury knew by the time he get back in that ring with Deontay Wilder, he was not going to be able to do the same thing that he did before. He knew that the spotlight was going to be on him. He knew that. So if I was Deontay Wilder, I would have just played the like, man, I lost. I lost fair and square. You beat me. Let's put the rematch in. Let's sign the contract. Now, once I get you in that contract, like Floyd Mayweather did, was it Manny Pacquiao? Not Manny Pacquiao. It was the other dude that he fought. And he ain't talk no noise until he made him sign that contract. And when he signed the contract, Floyd Mayweather went ham on him because he knew you can't bag out this contract. If you do, it's going to be your So it leaves me to wonder, Deontay Wilder, did he really beat you? Because it didn't seem like you wanted a rematch. It didn't seem like it. Because even if he did cheat, I would not take him to a court of law. We don't do that, Deontay. We don't do that. We don't do that. I would have beat him at his own game. I would have went back and watched the tape. I would have seen my mistakes. And I would have capitalized on it. Because the reason why I'm even making this video is because you cannot tell me a YouTuber can go back and watch that footage, slow it down, and can tell that this man had something in his gloves, he did something, and your team did not catch that. Something is wrong. Something wrong right there. And I'm just calling it what it is. I'm just calling it what it is, man. Calling it what it is. If I was Tyson Fury, I wouldn't want to fight you again either. Because at that point, you wasn't using mental. You used the social media that made them not want to reach back out to you. So all I'm saying is I tip my hat to Tyson Fury. If you can go and dethrone a man using your mental aspects, and he's so caught up in the fame and the social media and the to this day and all that right there, and he not really paying attention to the small things, that's his fault. That's not the person that messed with your water and you felt drug coming to the ring. At this point, I look at it like, why would somebody want to drug you? Just for the dethrone you? So at the end of the day, man, I'm just saying, bro, I would have loved to see a rematch with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. I would have loved to see that. But the way Deontay Wilder handled it, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I'm still a fan. I still respect what you got going on. But I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I don't respect how you handled that situation. Me personally, I felt like Deontay Wilder was so high up in the clouds. Deontay was so high up in the clouds. He was winning so much, putting so many people on their butt, knocking them out with this right here. And Deontay Wilder never had to really change his strategy up in the ring to win. Go back and look at his fights. Deontay Wilder never had to change his strategy up in the ring to win. It was always, I'll take a lick from you, but when I catch you with this right here, that's all I need. Good night. But when it came to Tyson Fury, remember, Tyson Fury was taller than Deontay Wilder. He's a little bit more heavier than Deontay Wilder. He was more experienced than Deontay Wilder, and I'll tell you why. Because Tyson Fury has been in more tougher fights than Deontay Wilder. And that's why when Tyson Fury came out, he was saying, you ain't fighting nobody. And everybody was thinking, oh, he just talking, he was talking. But when you go back and look at the stats, Deontay Wilder ain't really fight nobody. Not nobody who you can go back and say, man, there was a rumble in the jungle. No, bro. Everybody that you fought was handpicked. Now, we just calling a spade, bro. That's all I'm saying there, bro. Because Deontay Wilder fans seem to feel like Deontay Wilder is invisible. And it's said that you got beat in Black History Month. But what I would have respected way more is after you lost, you would have said, you know what? I respect this man. I lost. Let's do it again. He was the better man for the night. But when you lost that belt, it was like NBA Jam movie. I mean, not NBA Jam, that Space Jam movie. When dude lost his superpower. It was just like that, bro. Because it's not always about winning. It's about taking your losses, too. And if he really did cheat, lock him into another contract to where he can't bag out of it. Because it went to the contract expire. Come on, man. You've been doing this a long time, Deontay. How you let a contract expire? And I ain't never heard of a boxer where his fans or her fans speak for them. Who does that? What boxer or fighter let the fans speak for them? Floyd Mayweather don't do that. You go look at any boxer right now that done lost, they do not do that. Deontay Wilder been at the gun range. You dancing and twerking. Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you forget that you famous. You forget that you somebody. You can't just take a major loss like that and try to wipe it off your mind and just be out there dancing and twerking at the gun range. No, you are a boxer. This is what you do. You've been 50-0. Ain't no, I got revenue from other. No, this is what you do. Right here. Win, lose, draw. I want to get back in the ring and get my belt back. This is what we do. Men fight. Not sit over there and listen to a YouTube about this man cheated. Now, who I think gonna win out of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, that's gonna be for another video. But at this point right now, it's looking like Tyson Fury is beating boys with this right here. While everybody doing this, he beating boys with this right here. Now, the first fight, do I think Deontay Wilder won? Yes. I do feel like Deontay Wilder won. But the first fight showed you that you got to count on more than their knockout power. You got to count on more than that. You was counting on the knockout power. And he gave him time to get up. Yeah, he did give him time to get up. He did. He did. I feel like you did win out. I feel like you did get cheated. But that's boxing. It's mental and physical. If you can knock him down once, you can knock him down twice, you can knock him down 3 times. When he popped you in the back of your head, he put you on the ground, you lost all your balance. So you mean to tell me you drunk the water, had the suit on, came to the ring? All that was too much of showboating, bro. That was too much of showboating for Black History Month. If Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, Marcus Harvey Garvey, and all of them, Huey P. Newton was sitting out there in that crowd, they would have been shaking their head at you, talking about, man, what is this fool doing? What is this fool doing? Anytime Mike Tyson came to the ring, what he had on? Tank top, black shorts, and a little towel, huh? What is you doing? What was you representing? Like, what was the whole thing with the costume coming out? Like, what was you supposed to be representing? Black Panther? What? See, all them spears and all that. See, when you get in that ring, it's man against man. It's mind against mind. It's body against body. Dude showed you. You ain't never win against no big heavyweight. You ain't never win against no big heavyweight. Go back and look at Deontay Wilder fights. He ain't win against nobody like Tyson Fury who can beat you with this. I can't slip something in my gloves and get you. I can't slide my glove down a little bit and get you. What you gonna do about it? See, somebody like that, you got to be more than just this. You got to have this. See what I'm saying? And I think that's where Tyson Fury at right now. Tyson Fury know how to do this. And I think after certain fights, he start drinking and getting depressed about how he messed over the person. That's what I think. And I think people don't go back and study his tapes. Shout out to Young Pharaoh. Seems like Deontay Wilder, you need to hire Young Pharaoh. Seems like Young Pharaoh should have been in your corner. And before I get out of here, I want to say this. I feel like Young Pharaoh ain't must get his credit for that. I feel like Young Pharaoh came out and said what he said. You had other YouTubers talking about it, but you know what I'm saying? Dude ain't get his credit for going back and even discovering that, because if he would have never said nothing about that glove gate conspiracy between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, the world probably wouldn't even been talking about it. Now would have Deontay Wilder came out and said it then? If Young Pharaoh would have never brought it up? Probably not. You latched on to that because you needed an excuse of why he whooped your ass. Because when you knocked that other dude out, you made videos of it and put it out on your Instagram. So all I'm saying is when you lose, take your lick. Don't come out saying nobody cheated. And if you did cheat, keep that to yourself. You notice the game of boxing. That's like ratting. That's almost like ratting or snitching. Especially if I can get you back. I'm a rat before I can get you back? No. I'm going to wait till I get you right where I can get you, and I'm going to whisper it in your ear.